Hello and welcome to another edition of the Get Growing Weekly Work Session with GetOiling. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by Julie from our team. Hey, Julie.
Hi, everyone.
So we're really looking forward to having this conversation here today. There's a lot of chat that's kind of taking place in the Young Living community. If you are someone who benefited from working live being offered through Young Living during COVID, giving you really cheap access to fully featured Zoom, and you're finding out that that's basically going away. You are going to really enjoy what you get here today because spoiler alert, you don't need to buy anything else to replace what you had with them if that's something that you use. Now, of course, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I think you're also going to enjoy what we have here today because we're going to be digging into what it looks like to use the built-in Zoom in GetOiling to support your brand partner business. And if you don't know about GetOiling and you're new to us, hello, welcome. We are live every Thursday at noon US Eastern Time. We serve brand partners all over the world. Our email and text services, the app, the websites, the funnels, the events, everything that you need, including Zoom, is all in one place, whether you're just getting started or you have a Royal Crown Diamond business and everywhere in between. So without further ado, Julie and I are going to pop out of our video. You guys head over into the chat, say hello. We are going to be, having plenty of Q&A opportunity here today. There's also opportunity to work together live if you are here with questions. Let me go over here and get into these slides that I've prepared for you. We're going to be focused really on slides and the screenshots that I have included here. But if there's anything that you want to see a walkthrough of, there's certainly space for that here on this call as well. So again, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about how you can host one-on-one and group calls using the built-in Zoom feature in GetOiling. And I should say this as well, because I talked about working live and the full featured Zoom and everything at the top of the call. I would make the argument that if you are a brand partner, there is not another service you could use, including Zoom, that's going to give you a more complete platform to manage everything that you need to do for your business. And I'm going to talk with you guys specifically about some use cases and ways that you can use the Zoom that's in GetOiling in ways that you literally can't anywhere else, or at least if you could, you need 3 or 4 different software subscriptions. All right, so let's get into it. Today, we are going to be talking about what is included in terms of Zoom with GetOiling. We'll talk about some use cases for Zoom for brand partners. I'll show you how to set up and invite folks to your meetings, along with some very specific examples of simple options all the way up to very complex, sophisticated, automated options. And then, of course, we'll talk about how we can easily capture and share our Zoom recordings. And as always, we will get into live help and Q&A as we do on these calls every week. So if you have questions, go ahead and add those to the Q&A. If you came here looking for help, whether it pertains rather to this week's topic or not, this is an opportunity every week for us to get together. And if you have questions that maybe you feel like you're not finding the answers to, or you just want to walk through visually the answer to your question, feel free. This is your opportunity to do that. We do that every single week here on these calls. Now, if you are watching this as a replay, be sure to head over to getoiling.com/weekly work session to sign up, get on the list, and be on one of these upcoming calls with us. Now, if you would like to work together on a live call, I want to encourage you to also head over to getoiling.com/website review. And this isn't just for website reviews, right? If you're working on a personal website and you want to take a look at something together, work on design together, we could certainly do that. But if you're just getting started, or if you want to learn how to set up an event, or you've got some kind of use case you want to explore, this is an opportunity. We dedicate the second half of these calls every single week to this opportunity. And for you as a member of our community, it's totally free. So take advantage of this. All right. And if you want somebody to do the work for you, if you don't want to make your own website, you don't want to set up your own this or that, we've got really talented people who can design, who can automate, and who could even hold your hand and teach you. Go to getoiling.com/concierge to learn more about those options. Okay, so if you are here today, let me know, are you someone who's here today looking for a way to connect live with customers, leads, and team? I'm actually kind of curious if anyone is here today who maybe hasn't been using the Zoom feature and GetOiling, or maybe you are new to GetOiling or you haven't decided to hop in with us yet. Let us know in the chat. Don't be shy. So during COVID, Young Living partnered with a company that was offering Zoom for crazy cheap. And I mean like full featured Zoom. This was Zoom meetings, Zoom webinars, massive number of attendees, something that you would have paid handily for if you were to just go straight to Zoom and get it yourself. And look, this was a spectacular deal. When I heard about this, I was encouraging folks who, even if you use GetOiling and have our Zoom, I was like, you know what? By all means, if you like it, you want it, go for it, right? Your life is going to be easier if you use the built-in Zoom and GetOiling because everything's connected. But this was a very, very good deal. And as too good to be true deals go, sometimes they go away. That company is in fact going out of business or has declared bankruptcy or something to that effect. So that company is out the door, which means that deal is too. So we're here today to let you know that you don't need to go out and buy another thing. You don't need to buy another subscription. You don't need to go and pay for Zoom from Zoom. You don't need to go to another platform, because if you have GetOiling, you have everything you need, including Zoom. All right. So Zoom is included with GetOiling at all of our plan levels, right? From our seed plan, which is, I believe, $9 a month or something like that, all the way up to our diamond plan, where you've got hundreds of folks automatically included. There's some amount of Zoom included at every plan level. All right, so let's talk about what that looks like. We don't have, unlike maybe a free Zoom, there is no 40-minute cutoff, right? You can technically go for like 24 hours on our Zoom, no cutoff. I don't know who wants to be in Zoom for 24 hours, but that's how that works. Your attendee count, so how many people can attend your calls, is based on your plan level. However, if the number of attendees included in your plan level is not sufficient for your needs, it is very simple and very affordable to get that number changed, right? So you don't need to necessarily hop up from premium to pro, for instance. If you need just a few more seats on Zoom on a monthly basis, or even on a one-time basis, you can just reach out to us and we can quote you for what that looks like. An example here, there are some folks who use us maybe for group coaching, right? So if you want to do group coaching, maybe typically you're only really going to ever use your Zoom for maybe 3 people at the most, but you need a way to be able to get up to 50 people, and you just need it this next month. For one time, you can just reach out and say, I need this many more people for the next month. And it's a handful of dollars, if that, and it'll get added to your plan and you're good to go. If you need that for a longer plan of longer period of time, that is something that can be worked out as well. And this is true, you guys, about a lot of features in GetOiling. If there's something that's not included at your plan level, or at least the volume of it that you need is not included at your plan level, just reach out to us. There's often a way to make an adjustment. Okay. All right, so you can, with us, also schedule and share one-time and recurring meetings, and you can share from straight inside of GetOiling, which you can't do with Zoom, or at least you need 2 other pieces of software to do that. And then you can also record to your device or to the cloud in GetOiling, and we'll store it there for 1 week. And I'll show you here in just a bit what you can do with that recording to retain it longer and still, again, keep it inside your GetOiling system. You don't need another separate software for that either. Now, let's briefly talk about how Zoom in GetOiling is different from Zoom you would pay for from Zoom directly, or potentially from what you might have had if you had Working Live. So first, you're not going to have a login on the Zoom website. You're going to be logging in GetOiling. So you're going to log into GetOiling. You're going to go to your Zoom meetings, where you can set up your meetings and adjust the settings for those meetings, right? So you don't have a Zoom login, you don't have a Zoom account, you have a GetOiling account. And through GetOiling, you have access to Zoom, okay? Now, there are just a couple of integrated Zoom features. So like their built-in AI companion, for instance, isn't something that currently, and this may change in the future, currently is not functional with enterprise Zoom. And this may have been the case for you if you had Working Live as well. The ability to save whiteboards, again, as of this recording, I'm not sure that this is something that you could do there either. Now, they don't necessarily work as designed, but there are workarounds, right? So with whiteboards, you can screen share Canva, right? Or there's several other whiteboard applications you can use that are free, by the way. Free Canva has whiteboards. If you wanted to use an AI companion, I know several of you guys that get on this call regularly have an AI companion that you use, right? So there are multiple options here. Okay, so let's talk about ways you as a brand partner can be using Zoom. So first, virtual classes, right? Just like you might be offering Zoom classes, workshops, etc. Elsewhere, you can do that with the Zoom and GetOiling. You can use these Zoom calls for sharing and presentations, personal wellness consults with leads or with your team. You can have team calls. You can live stream from GetOiling Zoom to places like YouTube or Facebook, or I believe LinkedIn even. So you can live stream. You can even and this is so cool, I'll show you how to do this here in just a bit. You can even use the GetOiling Zoom to record video or audio content to use on places like YouTube or your website, or podcasts, or whatever it is that you would like to create. So again, this gets rid of so many other pieces of software that you need to use to show up as a brand online. You can also run coaching calls for group programs if you offer them, wellness workshops, care calls for your customers, and guys, so much more you can do just using the Zoom that's built in to the GetOiling you probably already have. So let's talk about what it looks like to set up and invite to your meetings. So first, where you find your Zoom settings in GetOiling is you're gonna look down your menu to Zoom and events. You're gonna click on Zoom meetings, and you can see the meetings that you have already set up. So you can see here that I've got a one-time meeting scheduled, and I also have a recurring meeting scheduled. So we can set either of these up, but that schedule meeting up in the top there is where you're going to set up your meeting. So you click that button, and then you can go in to give it a name. You can decide whether it's one-time or recurring, the duration of it, and then the settings that you want to have for that one-time or recurring meeting. My personal preference, if this is going to be a call that can have multiple people on it, so if maybe you want to host a group coaching call, or even something that's perhaps webinar-ish in style, right? I would automatically start the video for the host if you prefer. Do not start the video automatically for participants, and definitely mute participants on entry. And then in the other meeting options, you have some more options here, right? So if you want to screen who's coming in, enable the waiting room. I would probably not allow attendees to join before the host. If it's a team call, by all means, allow attendees to join before the host, right? If you intend to edit this video, auto record it to your computer. I don't typically use the personal meeting ID. I think that that's something that you should preserve for internal uses, right? So your own team, maybe that's something that, you know, if you're going to be dealing with leads in particular who are not maybe vetted, you want people to be able to only access what you give them. So I don't typically use that personal meeting ID. I don't select that. So this keeps it a bit more anonymous. So we set up our meeting. And then we need to share our meeting. So we can invite or share directly from our meeting info page. So once we complete this, right, then it's going to take us to another page where we've got all of our meeting details, including several buttons and options to share directly from that meeting info page, right? So we can do it right from there, or we could take this a step further. So let's say that you are setting up this Zoom meeting and you want to create a public event for people to RSVP, or you want this to be something like a workshop where people maybe register or even pay on a page, and then they're able to get access to this link, right? So in that case, you're going to go and create a campaign and GetOiling, and you're going to add the details, right? So that's the date, the time, all of those particulars, as well as the link to join. And you're going to make a campaign that's just, at the very least, got that one message that sends on day 0, which is immediate. And it's going to have that information. Once you've got that campaign, you can go create an event and then attach this campaign to the event via an automation, Or you can create a landing page and attach this campaign to that landing page where, again, they can register or RSVP for that event. And then you can go out and share that event or landing page via email, text, social, etc., to promote it and get people to attend. When they RSVP or they register, they will then get that Zoom meeting information. You can also, and this is an advanced option, if this is something that you're sending to your list, so people who are already in your contact manager, you can create an automation that maybe tags that lead, applies this campaign, and maybe RSVPs them for an event if this is an event, right? And you give them the option to just click a link in that email or text that you send them, and that will automatically apply this campaign to them, RSVP them for the event, etc. And then, of course, if that is something that you're doing, you're going to be using email or text to share that information. You're going to say, hey, here's what's coming up. Click here to RSVP and get a reminder, get the Zoom link, whatever, right? So that's how you would do that. And this is what the page looks like, right? After you set up your event. So here I've set up a wellness workshop, back to school 2024. And I've got the date and time here. This is a one-time event. So you can actually see it. It gives you the option to add this to calendar. So that's a link that you can actually share and send out. You can copy that attendee link here. You can go to, you can send it straight to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. You can go to copy link, or you can hit this send button and it will take you to your contacts, where you can select the contacts that you would like to send this information to. So maybe you're filtering for your team and you're going to send this out to your team. You're going to then write an email or a text, and this meeting info, including the link to join, is going to be included in that message that you send. Now, I wanted to make a note here. There was a question in our Facebook group about this, because I know that Working Live had the option to host webinars on Zoom, right? Which is a little bit different from meetings. So right now we are on webinars. We have some specific use cases as a business, GetOiling does, to utilize webinars as opposed to meetings. Part of the nature of that is that we are a software company and we deal with a great number of leads. And of course, the different calls and stuff that we run can have many, many numbers of people. But if you notice, when we do coaching calls, when we do small group stuff, we are typically using meetings inside of our system. So there are different ways to use this, but I want to point out to you, for the vast majority of us, unless you are trying to run a call with 1,000 people on it on a regular basis, you really don't have to have webinar software. The meeting controls, and look at this right here. This is actually a screenshot from Zoom. I'm talking about Zoom. We're on Zoom, so I can't really screen share Zoom and show you how this stuff works, because you can't have Zoom open, and or you can have more than one Zoom open on a device, right? But check this out. This is a Zoom meeting setting. You can choose whether or not participants are allowed to do any of these things. Start video if you don't want anybody to show video, if you don't want people to unmute themselves, if you don't want chat, like, you can lock stuff up so that your meeting runs just like a webinar would, right? So get onto your meeting a little early before it starts and go ahead and modify these settings so that you have control over the meeting that you're running. And with that, you can have hundreds of people on a meeting, and you can even do this on a regular basis. It's not super complicated. It certainly doesn't justify a leap in up to $100 or more a month to have the webinar software that you would need to purchase if you wanted to get a separate Zoom subscription that has webinars on it. That can get really pricey, right? So for the majority of us, we can get along just fine by hopping onto Zoom a few minutes early, modifying with these host tools, and then creating the experience that we know we want to have. And again, it's included with your GetOiling. And if you need more people, let us know and we can add it. And we promise it's not going to be anywhere near as expensive as going out and buying a new Zoom subscription. So with GetOiling, we make it so easy for you to record, keep, and share your recordings, the content that you create from these Zoom meetings. Now, you can be in these meetings, right, with other people, but you could also open up Zoom and GetOiling by yourself and record yourself speaking, sharing slides, or just showing your face and speaking. And you can create content to use on your YouTube channel or on your Instagram reels or on your website or for courses, right? So you can easily record and share, again, your one-on-one calls, your group calls, or even just you recording content. So what you do is you open up your Zoom, and obviously you set it up the way you want to set it up, whether it's by yourself, with a group, etc. And you're going to go over here to more, click record, and then look for record to the cloud. Now, this is your easy button. You could certainly record to your computer if you plan to edit what you are about to record, right? If you know that you're going to edit it, you use editing software, etc., then you're going to want to record to your computer so that you can make those edits, and then you can upload it to your GetOiling videos. But the easiest path here is to hit record to the cloud right here. And then after it's done, after you're done with the recording, you're going to go back to your Zoom meetings and click My Recordings. Once there, it's going to show you your recording status. There's an audio only option. So if you wanted to create a meditation audio to offer as a lead magnet, you could do that. You can download that here. But the cool thing is, if this is a video and this is intended to be used as a video, there's this link down here at the bottom that says copy to my video library. When you click that, it indicates that the download is started and to go check your video library to see when it's ready. And then once it's there, you'll see it. And it's going to have the name of your Zoom meeting. So in this case, this was my 30 minutes with Deborah. I've recorded that so that she can reference it later, right? So there it is. That's amazing, right? Now from here, if I wanted to give Deborah a link to watch this video, all I have to do is click that box that says share with link. It's going to provide me with a link, and then I can go and send it off to Deborah. All right. Now we have so much more that we have gone into. We actually did an in-depth on making the most of our built-in Zoom back in April of this year. That is still, I double checked it before our call today. It is still 100% applicable to right now. So if you want to learn more about those controls that we talked about and the different features that are literally in Zoom, as well as our recommendations for software that you may choose to use to replace some of the features that Zoom has that doesn't yet work with enterprise plans like ours, such as their built-in AI and saving and sharing whiteboards. We talk about that in this video here. Julie has just put that into the chat. I'll be sure it's in the description below this video. But definitely, if you want to learn more about our Zoom beyond what we've chatted about today, definitely recommend taking a look at this recording. So let's go get into live help and Q&A. I see we've got a couple of questions here. So yeah, let's get into those. Hey, Sean. So Sean says, I use Zoom outside of GetOiling. What's the limits? That's what I'm dealing with, losing the Zoom. Yeah, so the limits are going to be based on your plan level. So if you go to, let me see, actually, if you're in your Zoom meetings in GetOiling, it will indicate the number of participants that you are limited to at your plan level. If that's too few for you, that's fine. Shoot us a message, and it's just going to probably be a couple dollars, a few dollars a month to increase that attendee limit for you. When you switch to GetOiling Zoom, will I lose my data from my current Zoom? So yeah, what you're basically doing is, like, if you have an account with Zoom, that is your account with Zoom. You are Zoom's customer. We are with GetOiling, we have GetOiling is an enterprise customer of Zoom's. So an enterprise customer of a software company is going to basically be like a conduit, like we're a middleman, right? So we have a big account and give you guys sub accounts. That's basically how that works. And a lot of companies do this. I believe Working Live did this. It's just that once people started to return to in-person work, people, they couldn't sustain the number of people probably that they needed to be able to make that work financially, right? Because that's a lot. You can get a really good deal if you have, tens of thousands of people like they did who would be utilizing this, but that obviously has dwindled off over time. Now for us, we do have an enterprise plan level. It does include Zoom meetings and a lot of functionality. But if you have an account of your own with Zoom, it's not going to transfer to our account. right? There are a couple of things that can be done on the back end, like little tweaks. I believe things like images and stuff like that for you personally. Basically, if it has to do with customizing how your Zoom works on your account, I would maybe send those questions into support because there are some things that can be done, but there is not a way of moving things over completely. Sean, just a follow-up question here. If you are looking to move data over, that data, are you referring to maybe your past recordings that are on Zoom? Maybe let me know, and then we can discuss that. Okay, yes, thank you. Thank you for that. So we have videos in GetOiling. So what I would do for the recordings that you have in Zoom, I would go in and download all of those to your device and then upload those to your videos in GetOiling, right? So get into your video manager and let me make sure I've got an appropriate account logged in, and I'll show you where to go for that. So yeah, download those to your computer. And then you come over here to content library to videos. And from here, you can select or drop videos. And you can actually go grab multiples at a time, right? Now, obviously, this is the only video that's in here, but you can actually grab a bunch and upload them all at once. You could maybe go ahead and make a collection for them if they are all you know, of the same nature, right? So you can actually create, we do have some trainings on this as well, where you can actually learn a little bit more about how the video manager works. But essentially, if you're creating a collection, you're creating an organizational structure. So yeah, you can upload that. Your plan is going to include a certain number of videos. And that, again, that's another thing where if you are, if you're wanting to have a certain number of videos on your account doesn't, you know, have enough space for those that you want to have, just reach out to us. There's an option to get more space. There's actually, in fact, one right here where you can see, yeah, an extra $5 a month for bundles of 50 videos. All right, let me see. Melissa says, I have a Zoom working live through Young Living with an annual subscription. Do I need a different email address to run through the GetOiling site? So Melissa, similar to what I mentioned here for Sean, this is going to be like you don't need to have an email address aside from the one that you use with GetOiling. So when you are like you're not logging into Zoom with a GetOiling Zoom, you're never logging into Zoom. You're kind of automatically logged into Zoom when you use your start link, start meeting link from inside of GetOiling, right? So if you, let me just come back over here. The only login that you need to worry about is your GetOiling one. So when you come over to your Zoom meetings, you just find the meeting that you need to start and you click start meeting. And I actually really like to save this start meeting link and put it into my shortcuts, right? So here we go. Here's like a VIP call, and I have lots of calls that are qualified for this VIP call link. And so when people book a call with me who are a certain, you know, lead or whatever, they're going to get this link. And then when it's time for me to meet them, I just click this and it opens it just as though I clicked from right here. You do have to make sure that you are actively logged into your GetOiling on that device though, in order for that to work. Okay. But yeah, you don't need a different email address. You just need a GetOiling account. Okay, let me see. Cynthia, I need help with organizing my course in my vault. Yeah, we could do that. Did I see a hand up as well? Okay, I did not. Awesome. You guys keep the questions coming if you've got them. Amanda, yes, I will get to a branding question here with you in just a moment as well. All right, Cynthia, let's talk about your course. How can we help?
Okay, I'm trying to do the ancient biblical oil. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm trying to do the ancient. So I have that vault right there, and I've been sitting on it for like 2. I'm stuck with it. I'm trying to see if I can get it launched by Sunday. And so what the content that I created, I put it up in the very initial, which that's supposed to be, I guess, the video. That's supposed to be the like the picture of the course. So I'm going to move that down to the second section of the content. Then I put a picture,
Okay.
then I put a video at the top. So that what you talk
Okay.
about in this group here, I'm gonna create the videos tonight, this weekend, and then I want to attach the videos at the top about the intro to the course, and then the picture where the content is, and then move that content down. When I go into the edit, I don't know how to pull out and move it. You see, you have to
Oh,
download the information. I don't know how to download it.
okay. Okay. Let's go to, this is you, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So let's get into your member area. Um, okay, so here we go. Biblical oils, awesome. And we've got our class. Perfect. Okay. So, okay, help me understand what we're looking for.
So the picture there is wrong. I tried to get the picture to make that picture really big, the picture of the oils, and it's all that stuff on. I have to take that picture out completely and put another picture in there. But then the
Okay.
con
Are you there?
yeah, I am. And then
Okay.
so when you hit the course, the content is at I should have a picture in there. So I need to put a picture at the top. But how do I move the content out of that first section up there when you go into like understand the significance of the oils?
Okay, the significance of the oils. Okay, this one. You want to
Yes.
put an image here?
Right. Yeah, the content is in
Okay.
the wrong spot.
Oh, you
The
want to move
content,
it? Yeah, so
yes.
you see this the little the three lines right here?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
When we click that, you can drag it and move it.
Okay, not the I want to once you go inside of it, I want to move it once I get inside of it.
You want to move the content that's inside of it?
Yes.
Okay.
If you hit the understanding of ancient oils, you hit that.
Okay.
So see all of that there, that should be a picture right there, right? And that should go down further, doesn't it? Is that the right
Oh, okay. So this, I'm not sure what this is. You wanted to put a picture in here
at the top, where I put a
in the
picture,
lesson?
a little bit
Yeah.
picture and a video. Yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
just
So
put it above it in the same spot.
yeah. Yeah, you would. Yeah. So I just hit enter a couple of times, put your cursor where you want it, and then you can go to insert
Uh-huh.
image and find that image. So maybe it's this one. And
Okay.
I would maybe go into where you found this. So the resolution size of this is kind of strange because you've got this,
Yeah.
it's showing like it's a tall image, but it's actually a wide one. So wherever you got
Right.
that image, you want to maybe see
Okay.
about downloading a different version of it. Maybe this will, no,
Okay.
that's looking like the same thing. So
Yes.
I would maybe choose a different, like a wider version, because that one looks like it's tall, like
Okay.
maybe it was a screenshot.
Okay.
But yeah, you can just
Okay.
use this add image feature here. And if you have a video for this, you're going to pop that right here. So you could either use a link to an external video, or
Okay.
you can upload one, or you could even use an embed code as well, if that's something that you want to use. And you could put multiple videos
Okay.
inside if you wanted to.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is the right spot then. So just put the picture on top of that in the same box. Put the picture on top of that, and then I'll be okay.
So you only want that image to be inside of this lesson, or do you want that image to be there everywhere when somebody is in this class?
Every lesson on all of them.
Okay, on all of them. So what we're going to do in that case is we're going to go, so this is the class. We're going to go down to branding, and you're going to use that as the cover photo.
Okay, a cover photo. Okay,
And
thank you.
that's going to show up at the very top, and everywhere they go inside that class, lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, that's just going to stay right up there at the top.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you
Oh,
very much. It
fabulous.
does.
Yeah, yeah, good, good. Glad we could help. And good luck with your launch. All right, Amanda says, okay, branding question. I'm starting a vegan lifestyle travel blog. Okay. With links to be directed back to Buy Young Living. Can I add this blog to my existing blog and socials where I also have my holistic health podcast, or should it be a separate blog and socials? Why would it need to be anything else? I mean, if you were already talking about holistic health and you're just making it more vegan and introducing more lifestyle to it, why not expand your brand? Yeah, no, I would put it all together, because the reason why somebody's going to want to read about the holistic health, who's going to want to read about or try the vegan recipe, or who's going to take the travel recommendation, is because they like Amanda, right? So why not put that all in the same place? Happy to chat through this as well. Just pop your hand up. Let me know if you want to talk. Hey there.
Hey Ashley, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. So with my website, it's very do I need to be changing the look and feel of my website to start to show the different travel, like the travel blogs portion of it, or would I just separate that out by the categories? I think that's where I probably got myself confused because I'm trying to really start blogging. So it's a new thing for me.
Okay. Here, let me pull up your website and we can take a look at that together. I mean, I don't think that expanding on what you talk about when it's close enough in relation to what you're already talking about, which in your case is lifestyle, right? Can we talk about how pretty this is? This is so pretty. Um, okay, so you might choose to toss in a little, change a little bit of wording here to add adventure or something like that, travel tips. Just, you could like, I would not do an overhaul. Period. End of story.
Okay.
Okay. Number one, I would
Fair.
not do an overhaul. I would maybe grab the copy for your site. In particular, like if you've got like chat, like GPT-4, like I know we have Write with AI and GetOiling, and it's really cool and it's geared toward helping you develop stuff. But if you have the paid chat GPT, give it the link to your website and say, I would like to incorporate just a little bit more, some nuanced keywords that pertain to travel and vegan lifestyle because I'm expanding that into my brand. Show me where I can do that. And it'll tell you what to say. That would, if I were to do that, that's what I would do. But honestly, you really don't need to make significant changes. It's not like you've been talking about homeschooling kids and now you're talking about retirement, right? Like we're not making a gigantic leap. You were already talking about healthy stuff. And now you're talking about vegan healthy stuff and being vegan while traveling. Like this, it's still all very connected. So I wouldn't make any significant changes. I would maybe aspire to, as you're creating more content. And here's the thing too, like you've only created like 2 vegan recipe posts and like talked about travel once. That's not really time to like change your website, when you've got 20% of your content looking more like travel and vegan stuff, then of course you could go change your website. If you want to build a vegan community, then yeah, go and add, new stuff to your website to change that. But generally speaking, if you're more or less still trying to reach the same people, you really don't need to make a lot of change here.
Okay, that's awesome. I didn't know I could do that on Chat GPT, and I do have the paid version, so that's going to
Yeah.
be a fun experiment today.
That one is it's really, really cool. You can feed it websites and it will read websites. You can feed it videos and it'll watch and read and like analyze videos. It's wild what that can do. So yeah, if you have the paid version, just yeah, feed it your website and say, show me where I can mention travel and make that effective without completely changing all of the copy. Make sure you're prompting it well and you'll be fine.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Gorgeous website too. Again, really, really pretty. She did a great job. All right, Melissa, I'm recovering from a bad auto accident. Oh, I'm so sorry. Want to get one-on-one set up to build and help me get using this. Had this scheduled for the first week of August. Feel completely lost right now. Yeah, reach out to our team. Melissa, just shoot a message, support@getoiling.com. And we can help you get set in the right direction if you want to be working with the concierge team, or if maybe you want to hop on one of the small group calls with Pam. Those are really great for just getting your footing. Either you're starting with a new project or you're getting started with GetOiling, period. Those are small group calls, great opportunity to work one-on-one. Let me show you where to find all of that. Again, Amanda's website is so pretty. All right, so if we come over here to our dashboard and GetOiling and you go to Success Academy, there is get help from a real person. All of these options are here for you, Melissa. And so this group help call is where you might be able to sit down and chat with Pam. If you want to hire the concierge team, or if you just want to shoot a message to support, all of those links are right there for you to access. Where did you get the class content to upload? Hmm. Okay, so for I think that might have been a question for, let me see. I think that might have been a question for Cynthia. So Cynthia, if you're still on the call, if you could maybe pop into the chat, let us know if you received that for that class that you're creating. Is that coming from like a content partner, or like where did you get that? I think there are folks who are interested in doing something similar to what you're doing. Let me see if I'm missing anything else here. Okay. But yeah, generally speaking, you guys, if you've got to go back to Amanda's question, if you are already talking about something that's really in alignment with who you are and who you want to be reaching, and you want to add more to it, you're just adding more value to the people that you are connecting with, and you're providing an opportunity for people with maybe even more deeply aligned interests that you have to be able to connect with you in a more powerful way. Oh, thank you, Sherry. It was an accident. Hi, Melissa. I see you've got your hand up. I'm going to bring you out. How can we help?
Hey, I accidentally cut my hair that short too, but yours is really cute.
Thank you. I asked for a long angle bob, and I thought it would be down to here. And she, everybody likes it though. They're like, no, you should keep it this way. So
Yeah.
maybe I will.
I went for just to get mine kind of cut shoulder length, and she cut 18 inches off, and it's probably a little bit longer than yours, but not much.
Oh,
So yeah,
I cried a little.
quite a big adjustment. I still haven't gotten used to it yet. Okay, so I feel like I've been trying to kind of catch up on old calls, but I'm so confused.
Okay.
So I asked the question about the classes. So on that, we're basically uploading our own content. There's not a vault or anything we can pull from that y'all offer.
There are content providers who do.
Okay.
We don't, GetOiling doesn't create oily content. We're the container for you to collect and share your oily content. But if you go to our partners page on our website, there are a lot of folks who are doing that. And what Cynthia has said here as well is using AI. We actually have a training on using the Write with AI feature in the AI course creator inside of GetOiling. To outline your course and even help you generate the content for it. So what Cynthia did was actually say, here's what I want, and she had AI create it for her. I know that Grow Workspace absolutely has vaults. For you guys who are here, and even, you know, Melissa, for you, if you were to go to our Facebook group and ask if anybody has content along the lines that you are talking about, that's theirs or that they created, that they'd be willing to share. I think that there's a lot of folks in our community that would be willing to share resource bundles in that way as well. But AI is definitely a great shortcut to have something that's still kind of uniquely your own. But there may be some folks willing to share vaults and such in our community as well.
Yeah, I just didn't know if y'all had, because I've just been trying to figure it out, hit or miss. And then, like I said, I got knocked down for a couple of weeks and just kind of now getting my feet back underneath me.
What are you trying to create?
The whole system. So I've been using Flowdesk. Had already prepaid a year for Zoom last year, and it renewed in June. So I'll have, I guess, 2 Zooms. But just transferred. I bought the annual from you guys, and then of course had the accident. So it's just sat there for the last 3 weeks. And I'm just trying to get everything kind of transferred over. So I just canceled my YL, and I've just been kind of pulling like Flowdesk, different things. I tried to use y'all's email platform, and then I went ahead and renewed 1 month of Flowdesk because my brain is still hurting from the concussion, I guess. And it was easier to use something I knew at this point than to relearn something. And so I'm just basically I feel like I'm grasping at straws, trying not to go underneath on getting it started. It's just basically sitting here.
Okay. Yeah. So did you have a personal website, or were you just emailing?
I have a domain name, and had it pointed towards the MyYL. and I
Okay.
would use like wish links or the links off my YL. And I just kind of, just was linking everything together as I can through Facebook group and everything else. And I would like to move a group. I would like to have, one of the reasons I bought y'all's is because I said it on one of your calls back in July, and then at convention and stuff. And then also where y'all have stuff that's off Facebook. So I want to learn that because my numbers are way down on Facebook. My email numbers are actually fairly good. And then I also have project broadcast. So I have a lot of crap I need to transition over, and just feeling incredibly overwhelmed right now.
Yeah. So what I would do in order, and I would 100% just go ahead and book time on Pam's calls for this, because whereas we have like these calls are super multi-purpose and we use them for YouTube and all of that. It's a great opportunity on the latter end of these to maybe work on one project at a time. And if this is the best time for you, then use that getoiling.com/website review to get on. And that's on that get help from a real person link that I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
But we can work on, it's going to be a multi-stage project. What you've just
Right.
described, like you're not going to get it all done all at once without overwhelming yourself, or just hiring someone. And you could certainly do that too. And even if you hired someone, because you've got multiple services, you've got things that are actively in progress. Like if you're using Project Broadcast, for instance, and you wanted to migrate like this, it's multi-step. Like we understand that this is going to be a migration. Migration takes time. So so what I would do is just let's maybe work in order of your highest priority. Do you have a large team that you manage?
It's not as large as it used to be, but yeah, it's still right around 1,000 people.
Okay. So you want to make sure that your communications are covered first. If you're happy with the systems that you have in place for that, and you maybe don't quite have the bandwidth yet to move everything over, what I would start doing is moving the content over first, right? So what are the onboarding emails, copying those into maybe saved replies and GetOiling and turning them into campaigns. Any of the content that you might use. I would first double check because I know a lot of the content partners that we have create content for both GetOiling and Project Broadcast. So it could be that you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Like, so for Grow Workspace emails or something, like, and it just as an example, they're going to have a bundle code for GetOiling, just like they have a bundle code for Project Broadcast. So you would be able to just go into your Grow Workspace and just, import the GetOiling bundle code, and you don't have to worry about trying to make GetOiling and Project Broadcast two softwares that are built completely different and don't talk to each other, right? You don't have to go in and do that. If there are custom things that you've created in Project Broadcast, then you might want to move that content into a spreadsheet or something like that, and then recreate similar assets in GetOiling. That may be something that you hire someone on our team to do, because that's going to be a lot of smaller administrative tasks that someone who's very adept at using our system could get done 100 times more quickly than someone who's newer to the platform, much less someone who's newer to the platform who is recovering from a brain injury. So that may be something like if you wanted to, have an easy thing to maybe have someone like outsource. But then what I would also consider doing is just making sure that you have your built-in theme set up. What's your last name?
Mason.
Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and pull up your site here and we can make sure. Yes. Okay. So what I would do is I would go in and make sure that you have your built-in themes set up. Obviously you have your Young Living member number. You set that up when you got started with us. I would make sure you have my story and photo filled out. Yes, you do. Beautiful. Perfect. And then under customize my site, from here, oh, that's great. You've got yourself a logo. You've chosen your homepage. Fabulous. So that domain that you have, that you were forwarding to the MyYL, you can now forward that right here.
I'm pretty sure I already did.
It looks like that's not done yet, because I'm seeing right here, if we go to view my site, it doesn't look like you have a domain set up just yet, because it's a GetOiling. It's still got your.
Can you type in my domain name? It's dropoflife.net.
Dropoflife.net. Okay.
I thought,
You're forwarding it. Okay.
yes.
So what you want to do is, this is something to just connect with our team, just shoot a message over to our team. They could even do this for you. This is not going to cost you anything. And because yeah, what you're doing right now is it's forwarding, but we can actually have it show up where this will still show dropoflife.net, right? Where it
Okay.
actually doesn't right now. Yeah. So
Okay.
I would get that domain connected, and there's some things that our team can do as well to help make sure that you've got a security certificate set up and all of that kind of great stuff. That's just a little complicated, and again, a really quick problem to solve for people who do it all the time. So yeah, I would get that done. So now you've got that out of the way. You've got your website. Have you uploaded, and I can't go and look at this right now because I don't want to violate anybody's privacy, but have you uploaded your virtual office file?
I think so. Again, I mean, I started doing all this before I took this trip. Then we had the accident, and then I just have not been I just have not been able to really function and focus. Somehow my
Okay.
calendar got changed to Eastern time. And so I missed a bunch of stuff in the last 2 days. It's been kind of crazy. Now, I do have a question while you're on there looking at that. Like, you pulled up the other girl, Heather, or whatever you were showing, that real pretty one earlier. Now, that one, Amanda, sorry. Did she do that, or because all I could find, I just don't know how to do that, but did she build that herself, or is that one of your templates?
Hey, Amanda, if you're here, could you let us know in the chat? Did you hire someone? Did you do it yourself? If you did, what did you use? It's so, oh, look at that video. You hired someone. You hired someone. Okay. Was it Brandy? Or did you hire a team? Feel free, just pop it into the chat. There are some really great folks who create really great designs. Oh, is someone in our team? Fabulous. Okay. Yeah. So if you go to getoiling.com/concierge, this is an option. And I think that this was probably based on a couple of themes that we have, or templates that we have. Let me just show you really quick. And again, I really want to stress that migration, especially from a bunch of other places like you've just described, into one place where it's all functioning together, it is a bigger project, right? Like I would focus on the functions that you need and then add them as they make sense to you. So for instance, we want to get that domain connected. So what I did was I went to Success Academy. Everything that you're going to want to be looking for, Melissa, is going to be under Success Academy.
Okay.
So Success Academy right here, I've got account setup open. And so this is going to be a great place for you to kind of cover the basics. Okay, it was Jessica Danhoff that helped. Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, that was our team. Jessica's a graphic designer. She did do a beautiful job. Yeah, so this is something that you can, actually click off, learn about them, or even get help with them directly. And you've got a little progress bar. So that's one thing to look at. Common projects in here, if you want to like go straight to upload your virtual office file, you can head over here. Lots of great options. Now, if you wanted to DIY, if you're, if it's not something that you want to do right now, to hire someone to create a website, if you go over here to online resources and courses, this Brand My Business workshop, you can create using pre-existing templates, and this is totally free. When you click this, it'll get you access to the vault. It'll put you in there, and then there's basically a series of a couple of worksheets where we're kind of coming up with what we're going to say in different places on our website, right? So, how do we communicate ourselves right here? And then how do we figure out what it is that we put here? Who are we talking to? So I take you through a handful of worksheets to kind of develop the language that we would be using on our site. And then there's templates in here that you can go and plug that language into. I show you how to, make the modifications, so if you don't want the sunflowers, you want to go into Canva and use something different, we show how to do that as well. So if you wanted to DIY, all of that is in this Brand My Business workshop. Okay. And then when you're ready for it, because you have a large team, a large list that you're emailing to, these are bite-sized bits of information in what I believe process oriented are in a good sequential order for you to follow, not just to learn how to use our system for email marketing, but just as somebody who has a growing large list of people that you want to be communicating with regularly. If you want to make sure that you're staying out of the spam folder, that your stuff's
Right.
getting delivered, etc. I really recommend going through courses where you have something that you want to create, because it's going to teach you what you need to know when you need to know it, right? So you
Okay.
don't need to know everything about a vault, when really all you need to do is just make sure you got your personal website set up, right? If you're not emailing your team yet and you want to be moving them out of Flowdesk and out of Project Broadcast and getting everything all into one place with GetOiling, just focus on what's taught in here in order. This is going to be like the Move Your Groups does talk about the creation of vaults and how they work, and moving and collecting your resources from different places and getting those into order as well. So it really just kind of look at it as like a project basis, depending on what your priority is, right? If you're wanting to, maybe if you're looking at budget and you want to be cutting out those additional services, then figure out which ones you want to cut first. What are the corresponding functions in GetOiling? And then I would embark on a step-by-step following what's inside of these courses. And what you'll find, I promise, in each of these are short videos, right? So if you watch our YouTube channel, there's tons of great information here, but they seem daunting because they are 50 to 75-minute long videos sometimes, and what you're looking for is about a 30-minute section that's inside of it, but it doesn't, it just feels bigger. These are all like 10 to 15 minutes tops in terms of
Okay.
what's being told to you, because the idea is do this or watch this, now do this, watch this, now do this, and if you follow those steps, then it stays really manageable.
Okay, that's good. Now, my last question is on email. I have about probably somewhere around 4,500 active subscribers, 53 total contacts in my Flowdesk. Is there a limit on email marketing? Is there a limit to people, or can I only upload through my VO?
Oh, no, there's no limit. No, no, this is kind of the cool thing about using the contact manager and GetOiling, because we understand for a network marketing business, you might have thousands more people in your VO than you actually need to be functionally communicating with on a regular basis. We don't have an upper limit where that's concerned on our basic and higher plans, right? So you can actually see, if you look at your let me see, we can actually go to the GetOiling marketing site and we can see what these upper limits look like. We do operate with marketing credits, which is essentially like internal currency for the number of emails that you send. You can always buy more. They roll over. Of course, if you bought during our convention special and I believe you are annual, right? You mentioned annual. You're getting 1,000 extra credits a month for the life of your account if you bought during
I did.
during that special. Yeah, so you're going to have a lot to work with. One email to one person is 1,000. So if you wanted to send 1,000 emails, one group of 1,000 people and email, then that's 1,000 credits, right? And of course you can use those for text as well. So all right, our contact manager, basic, premium, pro, like this is where you're at. These are unlimited contacts. We
Okay,
do have some, we do have some limitations on like our seed and starter plans. Those are, like our $9 a month, $19 a month, etc. But yeah, you've got unlimited contacts on these. The only limitations that you could bump into is maybe on a month that you are sending out a ton of communication. Maybe you've got a bunch of promos, campaigns, etc. going on. Then you might run into an instance at some point where you need to re-up your marketing credits for, just for that month. And those are all, they're really affordable. And you could even add more every month if you want to. It just kind of depends, but there's a certain amount that come with your account. And the idea is that this is generally the amount that most people use. So we aren't trying to nickel and dime you, but if you need a little more, it's there.
Okay, I lied. I have one more question on Project Broadcast. So can I transfer my number from there to? Okay,
Yeah,
that's my last
you can.
question.
just reach out to our team. But yeah, just to keep your sanity, I would highly recommend just kind of looking at this on a project basis and understanding that making the most use of GetOiling is not a single project. It could be for your business and what you're trying to do. It could be 17 projects because you can do so much with us. So just look for the things that your business needs, and what are, you know, the priorities that you have, such as, you know, shutting down services that you want to, you know, condense functionality into GetOiling. So, you know, my first goal is going to be moving on a Flowdesk. Okay, so that means I need to import my contacts, any of the saved templates that I have there. Maybe I want to try to recreate something similar in GetOiling, and then I can shut down Flowdesk, and that part is done. Right. And then I'm going to work on the project broadcast. I need to port my number, the content, et cetera. Right. So just look at those as individual projects. And essentially what you're doing is you're migrating content, you're migrating contacts, and you're also learning and operating with the function, right? So you're doing the thing and utilizing GetOiling, and doing that one piece at a time is going to keep you from getting overwhelmed and keep things manageable.
Well, thank you, because I have felt very overwhelmed and that helped a lot. I appreciate it.
Oh, good. I'm so happy we could help. And there's more where that came from. Come back anytime. Okay, thank you guys for your amazing questions today and participation here. If there's something you would like to learn more about, let us know. We do these calls for this very purpose. If there is something that you are working on that you'd like some feedback on, don't forget, getoiling.com/website review. Hop on a call with us next week or the next one, whenever you want. You can do that as often as you'd like to. We look forward to seeing you back here same time next week. Till then, see you in the Facebook group and see you on the next call. Take care, everybody.